Yeah. My dad told me about internment a long time ago. I think he told me really early. I know that when he told me, I didn't quite grasp it. I was too young or at that point too interested in other things to be able to really understand the concept fully. And when and you'll see it, and as you get a little bit older, you'll start to see it in history books at school and whatnot. And they devote, what do they devote, like a half a page. There's a big picture of Pearl Harbor and this whole thing about how awful that was, and then there's a little thing about internment like in there somewhere. And at that point I think it struck me like, that's weird. Why don't they, like my dad told me all about that, and it's weird that they didn't really talk about it. And I know over time, I didn't go on any big crusade to figure it out or anything. I think just over time, the collection of information happened, and I started asking. I'd ask, my relatives every once in a while. I'd ask people, and the funny thing is that they wouldn't tell me. They'd give me such a watered down answer as to what their internment experience was. I think that bothered me because of the "it can't be helped" attitude. The shikataganai attitude is, so it was so useful back then, but these days, in my opinion, right now, I just don't. I think that for my generation has been a little bit of it's been a little bit of a detriment, a little bit of a thing, like something that we personally wish that our older relatives and our elders would put aside to a certain degree so that we can learn about this story. And so when I was making this Fort Minor record, my new record, it is like more of a solo kind of project. It is more of a focus on my experiences mixed with, my creative ideas. I'm making all the music, producing every song, mixing every song, and then lyrically I wanted to get in some things that were my own. So I got into that subject a little bit, did an interview with my dad, who's the second to youngest of 13. I mean, they're not all alive anymore, but 13 kids, and my aunt, who's the oldest. So it's the two perspectives. He was like 3 years old. She was in her 20s when, during the 40s when they were interned. And I think I got some really great insight into what happened.